Hi grade 3s, Mr. O'Leary here. Welcome to week 8 of term 3 and another week of remote learning. So today with writing and this week we're going to focus on using quotation marks. We do have another focus that I'll introduce tomorrow in our writing. So today make sure you watch this whole video. I'm going to say it at the start because there is a challenge that I want to explain to you that will take your writing a little bit further. So we have 4 success criteria that we're going to learn about today with quotation marks. And the success criteria is that I can use quotation marks on both sides of my sentence, at the beginning of my sentence, at the end of my sentence, and I can use a comma after I let my reader know who was talking. So I'll explain that a little bit, but it's kind of building on some of the things we've already learnt about. So I'm going to have a look at this photo first, and I want you to make sure you look at this. And have a look at this quote. So what are quotation marks? Quotation marks are the marks we use. They look like this and this. The marks we use to let our readers know that somebody is talking or that we are quoting someone else's words, okay? So sometimes we might quote a line from a book, or maybe a line from a song, could be. But often in our writing, we're quoting what somebody said. Okay, so that's why they're called quotation marks. This is a really good quote because I think it explains what you need to do when you use quotation marks beautifully, and it's in a quote, even better. So quotation marks are used to show someone's exact words. They go before and after the person's words. Place a comma after the word that lets you know someone's talking. Don't forget the capital letter. So we still use capital letters in quotation marks. The comma that they're talking about, we've actually done a little bit of work doing that over the last few weeks, so making sure we include the comma. So there's 3 different ways that we can use quotation marks, okay? And this is a nice simple way to look at it. At the beginning, here and here, the car is red, comma, that's the end of somebody talking, he said. So it's before the person spoke. All right, they use the talking mark and it's at the beginning of the sentence. At the end, he said the car is red. This time the quotation marks are used at the end of the sentence and the comma is after the person, the words that showed that the person was speaking. And this one here on both sides. So it's when the quotation marks are used on both sides of the person speaking, okay? So the car, comma, he said before the person spoke, comma, is red. Okay, so we've got 3 different ways that we can use quotation marks. Sometimes people call them talking marks, but they really are quotation marks. Important things to remember, and that's what we're going to practice today. So here's my example. So what I want you to do is, this is if you don't want to do the challenge, I'll explain the challenge in a moment. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to write a short sentence using the quotation marks in different ways. So I've used one where the quotation marks are on both sides, start and the end, one where it's just at the end and one where it's just at the beginning. So here's my example of one at the start and the end. Wait, I shouted. You forgot something. And then the one where it's at the end, Harry quietly murmured, my scar is burning. I was thinking about Harry Potter there. And this one, when the talking marks or the quotation marks, I need to get myself in good habits too, are at the beginning. What a beautiful day, I exclaimed. I was really careful to use the commas, either before somebody, the words where it shows where someone's speaking, or after. So here and here, here before, and here after. Oh, sorry, here before and here after. Okay. I also made sure that I used my capitals. So you've got to start your sentence with a capital. Down here, it has to start with a capital because you're saying my sky. It's the start of a sentence. Start of a sentence, all right? So that's the tricky part, that you've got to remember your capitals in your quotation marks. Over here, you might be thinking, well, how come that U doesn't have a capital Y? The reason it doesn't is because wait you forgot something is just one complete sentence. Okay, it's not starting a new quote. Okay, it's just been broken in the middle. And the reason we often would do it on both sides, the start and the end, is because it changes the way the reader reads our writing. Wait, I shouted. You forgot something. And it builds, in that example, it built a bit of anticipation. So it's a very important strategy to use as a writer. Now, the extra challenge. I've got 3 openers, 3 connectives, 3 vocabulary words. Your extra challenge, if you want it, is to use these words in your sentences. If you want an extra challenge on top of that, so that's like the first extra challenge. The extra challenge on top of that is to write a short story that has 3 different types of quotation marks used and all of these words in there. So you're basically writing a short story, okay? And you're trying to get all the openers, all the connectives, all the vocabulary, and the different types of quotation marks in. If you are not feeling as confident, just try to write 3 sentences using these words. And if you would like just to focus on writing their quotation marks, you can as well. You need to challenge yourself. We've been having a big focus on effort, and that's what this one's all about as well. All right, what's going to challenge me enough, and what am I going to have to put effort into doing which task? Thanks, guys.